Hello, Jimjamatic here. Welcome
That's fucking two!
As you can tell, Eoin is here. And this is the Minisode. What a great start to a Minisode, yes.
That's fucking two!
Yeah, Nuts 2 beat Carbide at some point, so we have to accept that fact and also enjoy it. But yes, Eoin Tentijester is here. Say hi, because you've already said hi with Nuts 2.
I have a tragic backstory. At age 6, I was born without a face.
I'll tell you a tragic backstory. Something I actually did to you yesterday, but that's beside the point. We'll get to that one when we get to a certain
We will not talk about that!
Yes, okay. Well, we're going to have to at some point. Only briefly. It was... Alright, I'll just get out of the way. I accidentally spoiled the Robot Rumble for Wayne. There we go. We'll just say it. I said it. For some reason, because just like we're discussing who was going to win, who we thought was going to win, and I didn't know who was going to win the series, mind you. I just knew that bit.
You know I avoid spoilers like the plague.
I knew that, but I don't even know how I managed to say it. I was just talking, and then it was like, he said, "Oh, I think Carbide's going to retain it." I said, "Oh, I think Magnus and I could probably win it." How wrong was I? But you were closer with Carbide. But I was like, "Yeah, Bagtar can win this." I said, "Oh yeah, Behemoth might give it a bit of a problem." Behemoth said, "Oh, Eruption and Behemoth might give it a problem." And he went, "Did you just spoil it?" And I remember I was on Facebook. I just went back onto the page and went, "Oh."
I was just like, James, read back what you just said to me.
I was reading back and what did I do? Oh, right. And it's funny because I managed.
I ruined your intro.
Yes, fair enough. It's fair game. The funniest thing was, I remember last week when we were going for all the Rumble robots, I can't say anything, and I was like, you're saying, "Oh yes, I think these robots can do it." I'm like, yep, cool, yep. Had to be very neutral. I managed to keep all this time away. I think I've known this for about 5 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. So when I was looking for a trailer again. The night before the grand finals when I give it away. Of course, that's the moment I accidentally do it, but in fairness, at least I didn't know the winner of the series, although technically I did actually give away the winner of the series, inevitably. But, yeah, that was a thing that happens, but...
Hello, Spoiler-Jamatic here.
Yeah, so that's basically what I am. Sorry. Also, I should have spoiled it, but I did also spoil that Bucky was going to win the series, but unfortunately didn't return, so they didn't have a chance to win the series, which is a tragedy in many regards. But we got a spiritual successor in some ways in the jokey robot, but... Of course, before the grand final even started, we have to talk about that Robot Rumble. And what the hell was happening in this fight? Like,
Traction came into the ring armed with Will Thomas's face.
I loved that detail. That really made me laugh. The fact they brought the little Will Thomas's face. It had the little Aftershock logo on it, and there's like
Afterflop. It was called
Afterflop.
Did you not notice that?
No, I didn't notice that actually. I think I just saw the Aftershock. I just thought it was the Aftershock logo.
If you look on like the cardboard sculpture, it says Afterflop.
Oh, is that what it said? I just saw the symbol and thought, oh, it's Aftershock. Fair enough. And I was like, but I like the little face of Will Thomas. That was a plus. He's there in spirit, which is kind of still makes me laugh that he didn't make it into the Rumble, but they did.
He's still technically in every single new series grand final.
True, but technically they didn't go out first. It was expulsion because they drove in the pit after 5 seconds, and I don't know how they did that. Were they just driving around and the pit happened to jump, go straight down? And I think I got the biggest laugh when I was watching that. I think I was just watching it and then just saw donk. Yeah, Meatball, the first of like 8 robots that go in the pit. I mean, it's like the motif here. I mean, Traction was next because it lost the track after just touching Sabretooth's drum. It just fell off.
Yeah.
I think it was
Can we talk about Expulsion's new look as well?
Yes, Expulsion's new look. They had the camouflage motif. We didn't really get shown properly, unfortunately, on the TV, but on the Twitter.
This was brought up on the show, but they painted the robot to camouflage in with the floor. They painted the exact same color as well as black dots.
But they kept the bar red.
Yeah.
And it didn't really help. The camouflage was so good, they must have not been able to see the robot, and that's why we're in the pit.
That's like a ninja, like all dressed in black, blend into the night, but just has a giant spotlight sellotape to his head.
Yeah, and he's so dark he can't even see where he's going and just walks into a wall. That's basically what happened because they couldn't see the robot and they drove in the pit. That's my explanation. Team Expulsion, please give me a better explanation why he drove in the pit because I have no idea how it happened. But yeah, the weakest robots went out first, which is the biggest shock in the entire. I mean, even if I hadn't revealed it, you'd know these two weren't going to win. So it was kind of a case of when they were going to go, but they kind of got them out of the way first, which is nice. The madness and shit. I think. Annoyingly, Sabretooth were actually doing the best in the entire thing, and then they drove into the pit.
I was really surprised by that. I thought like Concussion or Big Nipper would be doing the best, as well as like Apollo and Eruption.
They didn't.
But no, it was Sabretooth.
I mean, Concussion and Big Nipper were kind of non-entities in most of this. And Terahertz were kind of, and Thor actually.
Oh, Big Nipper was in there. Nipper was in there, doing really well with those claws.
Yeah.
I don't know why they did use the claws, but
I think Thor and Terahertz weren't working to their potential because they just Thor didn't do anything.
No, Thor's axe died halfway through and it was stuck forward.
Terahertz was working sort of, but by the end you could tell it was dying. It was on its last legs, and again, and then of course the best part, in my opinion, of the entire thing, besides the pile up in the pit, is John Reed telling off Sir Killalot.
Like, no, bad dog, go to your room.
It was one of the funniest things ever, because like he just picks him up by the axe, and he's about to jump, like, he's tempted to throw it out the arena like he did with Stinger multiple times, and he's like, no.
It's just like a parent who's on the phone to like a friend, and they see their kid lifting something up, and they're just like, put that down.
Put it down now. Killalot, put it down. No, 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 no. Stop it now. Stop it. And then Sir Killalot gave him that look of like, oh, fair enough. Put it down, like, good boy, good boy.
Just looked at John Reed and was like, oh, I hate you. And just
oh, God. Down. Why can't we be my real dad? Ugh. That was the funniest. That was the funniest. That was the highlight for me of the entire thing.
Off by Santa Claus.
If it wasn't Expulsion going in the pit, that was my favourite highlight, honestly, just watching that. I mean, who else? I mean, Apollo got battered in this. I mean, they're still working vaguely, but it's the fact that the panel fell off, I mean...
Panel flung off screen.
I think it was Sabretooth that causes that, because that's the only robot that seemed to be doing any damage in that entire battle. So.
Well, we don't know, because we saw Apollo, and then next time we saw Apollo, the flipper panel had gone.
Yeah, I remember seeing there was a shot where you saw like this bit of white panel going flying off screen. Like it was the robot was off screen and just flew away, and it's like, what was that? Oh, it must be off Apollo. Clearly, it's the only white robot in this entire thing, and then that's actually still in. It's not in the pit, and. I was like, oh, well, shit, I guess it must have been Sabretooth or Concussion, one of the two. I mean, Big Nip had the claws, it wasn't doing damage, it was more of a lifter. Eruption being very safe, which, again, ultimately helped them win, because they did fuck all most of the time,
Well, it is best tactic.
It won, so it can't come in too much. I mean, so again, I have to say once again, Gabe. Actually, was it Gabe who was driving? I don't think it was. I mean, whoever was driving Sabretooth, well, god damn it, you could have won that. That's the best I've seen Sabretooth work in this entire series, and it drives in the pit. And,
of course, we have to mention the elephant in the room. Iron Ore 6 still doesn't fucking work.
Oh, yeah, actually, I genuinely forgot Iron Ore 6 was in this. They went out third, didn't they? They went in the pit as well after getting flipped over and couldn't self-right. I mean, they were just a wedge.
Still don't fucking work.
God damn it. I don't know, I mean, I knew they were a non-entity, pretty much. I mean, it's kind of sad when something like Traction and Expulsion probably do more than they could.
Yeah, because we know what Iron Ore 6 can do.
And it just didn't do anything. Like, once, and someone managed to get third, managed to come third in its heat. Tell me how that, I mean, again, I'd rather see an Androne 4000 or Tauron in here, but, of course, that's the way things work, and...
As soon as we finish recording, I'm just gonna go and watch old Iron Ore Independent Circuit videos to make me feel better.
I'll just watch the clip on loop of Bigger Brother getting flipped out the arena. Just over and over again, that'll work out for you. But, I mean, this was madness overall. I mean, it was fun, though, because pretty much every obstacle got, set up at some point. The Fog of War got set up.
Fog of War 3 times.
Got 3 Fog of Wars, we got a couple of Rogue House robots, we got the pit opening up, of course, which ends up being pretty much everyone's grave, apart from Terahertz and Eruption in this entire thing.
I felt sorry for the announcer, because he was just like, Fog of War! Fog of War, a Rogue House robot, Fog of War.
it's like one of those keyboards you get. There's like, DJ, woo, DJ, just like constantly playing that over and over again. You must have got bored and just like, fuck, I'm just gonna play this, woo. And also, just a quick mention on Inside the Bot, Gabe's podcast. He actually has that guy on.
Really?
Yeah, he's asking people. He was asking people on this on a Facebook live video thing to name something you want him to like say, and I typed in. I hope he says it. I want him to say "What's up." Because, what's up?
Does he actually sound like that?
I hope not. I mean, I don't think he does, but if he did, that Phil got sorry for his parents, or anyone has to be friends with him, just walking around.
Imagine him going down the shop and just like, 4 pints of milk, please.
Yeah, he's like, do you want a lozenge? No, I'm fine. It's like, just every time. I mean, I could imagine him being like a teacher or something. What is 2 plus 2? 4. It's like, I've had kids. I would just like, go to sleep. It's like,
Like, Mom, our teacher's been possessed again.
No, that's just the robot's announcer. He's fine. Just ignore him. No running in the halls. I'd love seeing an entire sketch of just this guy in his day-to-day life.
Oh god, Stephen, get on to that.
I mean, he sort of did that one of his little mini things, but not a full-blown. I'd love to see a full-blown that. After his Christmas special, please randomly do that. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, he can do the announcer voice really well, like the kind of British announcer voice you get on everything. So I could see him being able to pull it off. If not, he can get other people to. There's plenty of people that can do that voice. So most notably, Alex Hunter can do it the best, as far as I'm aware. So
I will say this. I do prefer this announcer voice over the original one we had.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're talking about in the classic series.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because from Oxford. Hypnosis.
Well, plus they kept getting the names wrong. Like, he kept saying Diatior, Dan Tsunami.
Worst.
No, Dan Tomakaya was pretty bad. He put an A in it when there wasn't even an A. Dan Tomakaya.
And the fact he said Sir Camelot in Series 6, 4 years after Sir Cromalot had been introduced and he'd been pronouncing the name right.
Yeah, he said Yaibarobo perfectly, so I don't even... He got an Afrikaans word right, but not an English word. Brilliant. But, I mean, back onto the actual...
That's Brits for you.
That's Brits, yeah. And back to the actual fight, I mean, we've gone a little slight tangent. That's
we went very off track then.
A little bit off track, yes, but, I mean, really... There was one moment also that made me laugh. It was also in the preview for the next heat, on the previous heat, which it was on like a Wile E. Coyote routine. You know the bit when Sabretooth hits Apollo and it goes flying upwards.
Yeah.
There's a moment where Concussion and Sabretooth just run into each other like a Wile E. Coyote skit. Like, Apollo's already in the air and they go bonk right into each other, which was just the funniest thing ever. I mean, it was in the preview. I remember going, I got a screenshot of that. It's just the funniest image ever. But again, nothing gets funnier than watching Sir Camelot picking up terahertz and just getting verbally assaulted by John Reed. I love it.
That was funny. I tell you, another funny bit was after the match. I said this to you on Facebook. When they were interviewing Michael after his victory, you could see in the background they were wheeling Thor back in, and it just looked like Thor was sneaking up behind Michael to hit him in the face. It was just like, oh my god, Thor's going to kill Michael.
Yeah.
He just stopped and it's like, they noticed me.
Yeah.
It looked like Thor was just rolling up to Michael to hit him with the axe.
Surprise attack, motherfucker. I mean, I did one little quick shot when you saw one little line. It's like, okay, the humiliation line.
Yeah.
One at a time, just get them out of the pit. I mean, that must have been a chore in itself, getting all those robots out of the pit at once. I just, okay, Thor's fine, he's on the edge, Big Nipper's at the top, Apollo. Who wants to get eruption out? Who wants to get expulsion out of the pit? Just lift it up. I don't know. Just like roll it away.
Yeah. I also love the fact that sometimes when they showed the right booth, you can see one of the stagehands just pressed up against the window watching the action. I was like, who the fuck's that? Spoilers.
It's spoilers. It's a set. Oh my god! I thought it was real. Oh no!
You just see one of the stagehands wearing the Robot Wars hoodie. It's like, oh, what's going on here?
For a second, I thought like Zach Galifianakis just walked in. I was like, who's this guy? I don't recognise him from any teams. If he's the announcer guy, is he the guy who's just saying "Fog of War" just in the?
he looked like he looked a bit like a bald Jarvis from Vulture.
He did like Jarvis's granddad or something like that. Like slightly younger looking I'd love that. Oh my god.
Oh god, how long have we been talking about this match?
There's so much stuff that happened, and some of it's not even involving what we're talking about, but it's great. I mean,
a 3-minute match, and we talk about it for 3 fucking hours.
Mind you, we knew this, man. It's a 10 robot rumble. It was expected to be going on for a little bit, but it was fantastic. It was what I expected a 10 robot rumble to be, and thankfully, at least half the robots did something. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I was surprised that Thor was one of the robots that wasn't one of the, was one that didn't do anything really, but. I mean, the biggest players really were Sabretooth, Apollo, Eruption, Terahertz, and
Big Nipper.
And Big Nipper, yeah. Everyone else just kind of was there. And even Terahertz wasn't doing as much as it could have done, but it was the highlight alone with Sir Camelot made it memorable. But
yeah.
I think Expulsion gets the Coward Award for going straight into the...
Well, call it the Plunderbird Award.
The Plunderbird, yeah, exactly, the Plunderbird 2 Award.
Silence!
How dare you! Oh, jeez, I love
There's
this.
a slight mechanical malfunction!
We're gonna bash them! There's a Plunderstorm coming, or... I really hope Expulsion 3 looks good, because again, we've seen like a very tiny preview of it on Twitter, but I really hope it does. It looks good from the very tiny section I've seen of it, and of course there's, this also one mention this quickly before we go to anything. You can tell there's so many hints as an international special. And I'm sorry, I don't care if it's not been officially announced. You can see all the foreign flags in the background. You can see
that and the fact you could see.
You can see friggin' Deertor in the background. You see the
I was about to say that.
You see the fur in the background. You know it's Deertor. There's pictures of Sol Sharky with them. Something. How do you just bump into these guys when they're at Robot Wars? Of course, because they're in the series probably. And there's a certain looking military robot you see in the background, which I'm not going to name. But and you also see John Frizzell still there, and you think, what's he still doing there? And why is Big Nippus there? They lost in the Rumble. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's not been officially announced, but you can get the clues. It's pretty clear there's going to be something going on with international stuff, and I've heard about it, and it's obvious, but it's more a case of when BBC are going to announce it as opposed to what's happening.
When they're going to show it.
Yes, exactly. But I'm looking forward to it, though. I mean, 8 versus 8, that's going to be... Oh, I can't wait. That's going to be amazing. But,
you thought the Robot Rumble was going to be intense.
Yeah, 8 foreign robots, 8 British robots, going all out, and... I don't know if it's going to be like, I don't know how it's going to work out. I remember like Battles of 4 or something, like tag team. I think it's like a tag team type thing. I don't know any of the details properly. I just know that's how roughly what might be happening, so...
Just as long as we get our beloved Deertor back, I am happy.
Yeah, we get Terror Turtles. It's a balance, you know what I mean? Dear God, we get to see Terror Turtle again. Love of God.
Right, we have been in this podcast for about 17 minutes now, and we have only just talked about one fight. I think it's about time we start talking about the actual grand final.
Yes, because that was the build up just to get into the grand final. Literally, we've just got one robot out of all that. That was basically, we could just said Eruption 1, and that was it. But no, it was worth it. It was worth it in my opinion. It was going to be talked about a lot. So we'll get off this topic now. We've talked about enough. Gone through the highlights, and let's talk about the grand final itself. Of course, obviously quickly we know the robots are. Of course, we've got Carbide, Nuts 2, Behemoth, Eruption, Rapid, and Magnetar, who have all managed to make it into the grand final. And this first fight, as I mentioned previously, Carbide, Nuts 2 and Behemoth was going to be a fight I was most anticipating, because I knew these three against each other, and I was like, you know what, this is going to be epic, and god damn it, Behemoth, the mini-bot beat you.
That is the first time since the rebooted era started that someone has pressed the pit release, and another robot has been resting on the pit as it descended. Yes,
it was... you saw the look on Ant's face. He's like, what the
fuck just happened?
That's the perfect timing, and the mini-bot has been the OP.
Yeah.
OP general of his entire... I mean, Nuts 2's great, but come on, that red mini-bot...
That mini-bot was earning his paycheck.
Yeah, he did like 2 or 3 amazing things in this entire... all of them in this battle, actually. It was just amazing what he did. I mean... Again, Behemoth didn't...
When you get Dave admitting that the mini-bot is annoying as fuck, then you know you got a good mini-bot.
That's true. And also, again, I knew that as I predicted, Behemoth decided to use the anti-spinoscope, and it was working. I mean, it did look like it was
falling off, but it was working.
It was doing its job, deflecting all the Carbide. And honestly, if the battle had lasted longer, I think it would have ended like the grand final, honestly. Maybe a little bit better for wear, because the whole scoop's meant to be sort of a sacrificial scoop that's more defensive, so I guess it being destroyed isn't the worst thing, but it was pretty funny seeing Nuts take out Carbide, though.
Oh my fucking... That... Like, we talk about the best precision hit in Robot Wars being Hypnodisc versus Pussycat, where Pussycat gets a tiny, tiny bolt off of Hypnodisc wheel, and immobilizes the entire thing. We all talk about that as the best precision hit in Robot Wars history, but now I think Nuts 2 earns that title.
Nuts 2 has won the No Scope Award.
It has a much less accurate weapon than Pussycat, and Pussycat's weapon, because of the design of the robot, was pretty inaccurate. It had a much less accurate weapon, and it got the hit. It mobilized the bar of Carbide. What robot can say they've done that?
No one else has done it. No one's taken the chain off Carbide yet, because like it's like that golden area of Robot Wars. It is just, if you can take that out, it's like the holy grail of Robot Wars. Once you've taken that bit out, you're set for life.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it was Nuts 2 that did it. It wasn't Magnetar.
It was a chain flail.
It wasn't Magnetar. It wasn't Ironside 3. It wasn't Pulsar. It wasn't anything.
Ironside 3 came the closest before this.
Ironside 3, yeah, they got the best. And
they got a chip out of the axle of the bar last year.
That was pretty impressive. And people thought, oh, that's tense. And then,
yeah.
Nope.
That was the only bit of trouble that Carbide got into in Series 9.
Yeah, it was pretty much solid throughout Series 9. This series, it's really had to work. Even in its first battle, it had to kind of push through. And now, this Grand Finals has been its ultimate challenge.
And have you noticed, most of the times where Carbide has been in real peril, it's always been to robots that we think will stand no chance.
It's true. It really does seem to have been a hanger on. You know what I mean?
Because against the plastic Gabriel, they took them into time, smashed one of their wheels, and they were still going, and Carbide's batteries are burnt out. Here, Nuts got the chain, immobilized the weapon.
The funniest moment, though, besides the brilliant hit on the chain, is the bit where the Minibot started chasing Carbide and it ran away from the Minibot. Joe, I've never seen a funnier moment in my life than seeing... Bear in mind, this is a robot that in total has lost 3 fights so far in its entire career. Robot Wars has lost 1 in its heat and 2 in the grand final. It was flawless throughout Series 9. Pretty much unscathed, almost, beside the hit with Ironside 3. Had some problems in the series, but it still managed to push through relatively fine, but minus a bit of a wheel. And then
here it's fucking run away from a 10-kilo robot.
Yeah, it's the funniest... Could you imagine, like, Chaos 2 running away from, like, Black and Blue? That would be like... That's the equivalent to me. Just seeing, or having Demolisher chase around Roadblock. It's that kind of thing. It's like the mouse scaring the elephant thing. It really is funny, and it's
like as soon as the spinning bar went, they were just like, "Help!"
Yeah, I mean, actually, I say I like pathetic sights in Robot Wars. This is the only one I can think of where the robot was moving, and it's still a pathetic sight. I mean, most times it's like Vulture stuck in its side, or Evil dead, Splinter demolished. This is just another, just the most active of the pathetic moments I can think of now, and it's been added to the list. I mean, this is hands down on this list now. I've got to make a compilation of this at some point.
It's definitely up there. Carbide running away from a weaponless Minibot.
Yeah. Nuts 2 Minibot of all robots as well. It's just...
Googly eyes.
The fearsome googly eyes. And the funniest thing... Actually, also, I will say, I loved Rory's reaction when he won. He looks genuine. I mean, he probably knew he might have won it, but he probably just didn't. Even though he probably might have thought he's won that, it was a case of, I'm actually hearing this. Nuts 2 is. I mean, fair play. I mean, they got demolished in Series 8 by Carbide, and it's the fact that now they.
As soon as Dara said Nuts 2, you could just see the light bulbs shining in his head. It's like, oh my fucking god.
Actually, imagine this battle was all worth it to see Dave get unsmug. It really was. I mean, I have nothing against him, but he is the smuggest motherfucker in the world. Like,
he looked pissed after this match.
I mean, actually, Sam doesn't really have any emotion, and Sam can relatively take it okay. But yeah, Dave is just, he's like Gabe, except he's less.
Reverse.
He's like the inward Gabe, like the inner Gabe. Like he's more inward. He'd be like he's like really
Nega Gabe.
Yeah, he really is. He's the opposite of Gabe, pretty much. He keeps all his joy on the inside, and then he gets smug when he wins, whilst Gabe is pretty much smug all the time, but he's always active and yelling and getting really into it, so it's kind of like the opposites. But they're both as smug as each other, but it's not a bad thing. I mean, in fact, you've got a grand champion, what can you expect? But it was nice to see him get knocked down a little bit, because they're indestructible Carbide taken out by a flail. So,
and later in the episode, when Carbide is actually adding stuff onto their robot... when have they ever done that against anyone else?
Never. I mean, Nuts 2 has created like a meta now for armoring your robots, which is I never thought I'd see the day when Nuts 2 is a robot that's actually changing the face of other robots. Like,
yeah, because 2 of the most ferocious spinners in this series both had to make adjustments to go up against Nuts.
Yeah, although at least Carbide's adjustment actually helped.
Yeah,
it didn't play itself like like Concussion did. And then, of course, you got Androme 4000 bleeding to death, which is one of the... you know, it is just... It's amazing. It really is amazing. I mean, Nuts 2 is hands down one of the biggest miracles of Series 10. It really is. I mean, Christmas came early with this robot.
Yeah, I will say this. I was so impressed by Nuts 2 that I don't care if I get heat from my parents for doing this, but I promise you, Robot Wars community, in the future, maybe not next year, maybe not the year after that, but in the future, I'm getting a Nuts 2 tattoo.
Hey, that is a good tattoo to get. It'll be
I've
amazing.
always wanted a Robot Wars tattoo, and I think Nuts 2 would be the perfect one.
So Nuts 2, because of this series, has earned your respect to be a tattoo. I love it.
Yes. I promise you, Rory, I will get Nuts 2 tattooed on me one day.
What a lovely story that is. Well done to Team Nuts. And also honorary to Dave Laurie as well, because he was there from the start, even with Jellyfish.
Yeah.
Even without Jellyfish, he's an honorary member still, obviously, so he'll always be there forever with the Nuts. And also, therefore, Sam and God damn it, I forget the name of the other guy. I'm so disappointed. From Two the Death Flamingo. I'm gonna get loads of comments now saying it's him. I know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I can't remember either.
Insert third guy from that guy here. They're all honorary Nuts members, but the real guys.
I know the name, but it's gonna piss me off now.
Yeah, I know his name, but that's annoying me. But anyway, that's enough distractions. Carbide lost. Behemoth pitted. Nuts 2 the winner. They won a fight in the grand final. You know what? I'll take it. Then, of course, Eruption, Rapid, and Magnetar. This was just chaos, this fight.
Yeah.
I mean, Rapid is flying all over the place, trying to self-right itself. At moments, its flipper keeps getting stuck, and you think, is it out? Like, I think 3 occasions this entire fight, I thought, oh, is Rapid out of this fight now? Nope, the bat now, they're still moving. Oh, they're out, nope, the bat now. And then they get parked on their own flipper, and open wide.
Oh, God.
That's the funniest image. I was just like, yep, you can't
So
recover
the
from
Rapid
that.
team captain said anyone who can beat him gets a job at RPD Industries. Does that mean both Michael and Ellis get jobs there now?
Now, this is actually something I mentioned, because I was talking to, I think it was Harry and Charlie from the Good Rebuttal podcast one time, and apparently this is actually something, I think this is, again, I need confirmation, but this is what I've heard. Apparently Ellis has been hired by RPD.
Oh, wow.
I heard this before.
They actually kept their promise.
Yeah, because I heard this, and when I first heard it, because I heard this before the grand final, I thought to myself, well, that doesn't spell good for Rapid then. And then, yeah, that's not good. And I did kind of spoil the Heat 5 as well in a way, but, you know, I was still kind of like, okay, fair enough, this is going to be interesting. Or at least spoiled, either won the Rumble or won its Heat. That was kind of the definition I got, and it was, again, that's pretty cool. If that's true, fair play. I mean, we actually had a lot of hiring. Like, again, I think Tim from Concussion actually got, I think it was Rory hired for his for a company, either a company he works for or one of the similar ones to kind of as an engineer or something like that. So I remember hearing something about it. I heard that somewhere, like it was one of the news things they did for like their local news or something like that. But it was pretty cool. I think it was Rory or Alex, one or two. I think it was Rory.
Oh, right.
But I think it's one of the two, definitely. But it was definitely the series of hiring people. I liking this, but it was congratulations. That's true.
Oh my god! I just thought the stupidest thing. What if Rapid lost in his heat, and it was the first robot eliminated in the Rumble? Would the team captain of Rapid have to hire all 9 of the other teams then?
He has to hire all the school kids. Therefore has to hire Will Thomas randomly because he has to be there with them.
Yeah.
He has to hire the teachers from Expulsion. He has to hire. Yeah, it has to hire the Eoin Ó Cionna guys. Has to hire Tim. Hiring Tim is funny alone. You know, just hiring John. That would be an honour. Hiring John Reed. That would be pretty amazing. And just, yeah, that'd be amazing if that was the case. But seeing the gold paint go flying was kind of fun, even if it was kind of sad to see the robot go obliterated. Not as bad as it would be later on, but we'll get to that.
Ooh, that was funny.
It was funny and painful at the same time. And Magnetar, I felt so bad for Magnetar because they were actually winning that fight, and then, of course, the self-writer, not for the first time in this grand final, decides to break now. And it couldn't self-write. And it was actually Matilda that KO'd them, not Eruption, which is unfortunate, but yeah.
Anderson messaged me after that. It was like, I am pissed.
Yeah, he doesn't like Eruption that much, so I knew Anderson would get pissed at this. I don't love Eruption. I like it. I just think it's just not the most interesting robot in the world, but it's a good robot and I respect it. But
I will read you the message he sent me. Sorry, Anderson, but you being mad is funny to me. So the aim of the game is to have the house robots do all the work for you. Was losing the entire vote, he spelt fight wrong, and wins thanks to Matilda, utter joke.
That sounds like Anderson saltiness to me. I know him too well. That sounds like Anderson. Got it perfect.
Sorry, Anderson, I love you, but damn, dude.
Yeah, he can hold a grudge forever. I bet he's still pissed off about the Hobgoblin did nothing last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I decided to stay away from him with that because I knew he'd be pissed.
Yeah, I've worked out with Anderson, no matter how many times you can't reason with him. He just doesn't like something. He's not going to stop. And I don't think he's ever going to like Eruption. Ever. So, I mean, if it was opposite way around, you'd be like, oh, fair enough, it's okay. It's nice that the house robot's helping out, you know.
Yeah.
If it was Eruption game bodied by Matilda, it'd be fair enough, but you know, it was definitely more. It was almost as mad as the 10 Robot Rumble this entire fight, with the Rapid going flying, Eruption flipping stuff, Magnetar flipping things with its drum. But at the end of the day, Eruption just again kind of either played it slightly safe, but also managed to get the flips in when it needed and won it pretty solidly. Really, I mean, it was kind of sneaky. This Eruption's a very sneaky robot in this grand final, but I'm liking it.
Yeah,
it helps it
win.
Not
only that. We failed to mention they went into the corner again.
Yeah, although when we laughed, I was happy. I actually remember I was sat there going, "No, Eruption, don't do it again. Don't you dare do it." Again. And when Magnetar came towards, I went, "Yes, go."
and then Magnetar and Rapid just saw it. It was like, "Oh, this motherfucker."
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, they've already seen your fight before. Like, how is this tactic's not going to work with 3 robots? It worked with 10. Fair enough, with 10 robots and the house robots, of course no one's going to look at you if you're just in the corner doing nothing, but if there's only 2 of the robots, I'm not going to sit there going, oh, he's in the corner, now just fight each other. Yeah, of course they're going to go after you.
Eruption was just like, alright, I'm just going to hide here, and oh no.
The most cowardly champion ever, I love it. And like
Wireless!
Oh, sorry, spoil, oh no.
You asshole!
Oh, I love it. It's funny because I'm not spoiling anything. I mean, if you've seen the episode, god damn it, why are you watching this if you haven't watched it? That's my question. That's my other question, but yeah. Eruption won that one pretty soundly, with Magnetar being very unfortunate, but that's the way things go. And, of course, we have the playoffs to make sure that who can stay in the grand final, and, of course, the first one was Behemoth against Magnetar, and this was tense.
It was a good match.
It was really good, and then of course, once again, the Self-Rider gets stuck, and I didn't see it get stuck at first, but then obviously Ant saw that, then the drum stopped, and it was pretty much a case of, right, can Behemoth flip this thing over, or is Magnetar going to, or is Behemoth just going to like get hit by a house robot or get stuck or something, and then, because it was limping Behemoth at the end of this fight.
Yeah, one side was immobilized, but then also Ellis was having the Series 3 radio issues as well.
Yeah, it came back to haunt them somehow. The ghost of all the radio issues.
Even though Ellis was probably 5 by the time Series 3 was around.
Yeah, but it was a good fight. Didn't last as like there wasn't many highlights. It was more a case of just a lot of good hits and Magnetar. But then Behemoth flipping them over, and then yeah, that was pretty much it. Really, it wasn't the most exciting fight in the world, but it was definitely a good fight. But it was tense, especially that one bit where they're circling each other, and you think, oh god, it's that lucky flip Behemoth needs, and it got it, and that's all it needed, really. And then yeah, it wasn't the most exciting fight in the world, honestly. But
I feel really gutted for Alice, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was my tip to win, unfortunately, Magnetar. But I respect Alice a lot. I mean, I've put down Pulsar a lot, and I will admit I'm still not a big fan of Pulsar. But Magnetar, fuck me, that robot's good.
Magnetar was a vast improvement.
Yes, it was. It finally made me realise that Pulsar, which is what Pulsar should have been. If Pulsar had been this from the start, I would have liked Pulsar more. But as it was just a kind of a good robot that was very unreliable. And now this robot, while some of its unreliable nature did appear more in the grand final than it did in any of its heat, it still was amazing. And it was, honestly, I think you should stick with this kind of design. It'll work eventually, because this robot almost got to the grand final. You know, the very grand final of everything. So yeah, it was one step away from being there. So, and it was doing well in its first fight. So it has potential, and I give congrats to Ellis. He's amazing. He's much more of an engineer than I ever could be, and I think he's like younger than me. So
the fact he's self-taught as well is what impresses me most.
Actually, that's the cool thing about that. Actually, that first fight, Eruption, Rapid, and Magnetar, all three of them are really young and really good engineers, making me feel even more inadequate about myself. That I'm 23 and I don't even know what the hell what's inside a microwave. You know, it's like I don't know what I couldn't even. If that broke, I'm just like,
Fuck.
Yeah, fuck. I'm just gonna have to starve now. But these guys can, they can make robots, and one of them, a guy from Josh from Rapid is a millionaire.
Yeah.
It's just and speaking of Rapid, they had a bonfire. Honestly, the thing is, I was sat there with my parents watching this, and my mum was like, "Oh, Rapid's gonna win this. Rapid's really powerful. It's Flipper." And I'm like, "No. Do you know how frail Rapid is? Literally, it just needs to get hit by some massive hits. Like Magnetar almost took it out. So Carbine is more powerful than Magnetar, and it's going to rip it apart." And Mum's like, "No, it's gonna flip it." And then after the first couple of hits, she was like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, okay."
The flipper shattered. The gold armor went everywhere.
The polycarb threw off. That was a big surprise. And then it created its own fog of war. It was, and at first I just thought it was CO2, but then no, it was like another Chompalot. It just, plumed out of this robot, just a giant smoke screen.
And you all know how much I don't like Rapid, and just sorry for being an asshole, but I'm a fan. I'm allowed to not like robots.
It's fair enough.
Seeing this was just... Oh.
Was it the highest amount of Schadenfreude you could get?
C'est magnifique.
30 grand of robot going down. But I will admit that it was... I agree with Josh. It was the best way to go out against a champion. Just be set on fire. And also, it was quite appropriate. It was raining in Scotland for the to put out the fire bit. I thought that's just Scotland. Of course, it's raining. But good timing.
As if the destruction of your robot couldn't get more depressing. Now it's raining.
Of course, it's March as well, and it still rains in Scotland because it's Scotland. But it was still fun. I mean, the fight really didn't last long. But I love the little pot shots cover took at the end of it. Just he dead. Yep, just making sure you're dead. Cool.
Yeah.
I think that might have ultimately broken. Set on fire, but I was very surprised. I mean, it must be because it was a different type of battery, but I was surprised people just ran in and put it out. I was like, with Chompalot, they had to leave it going. But it must be because of the type of battery, I'm guessing.
This is why I think bringing back RevBot is a good idea, because RevBot had the mobile extinguisher.
Shame it was shit though. I mean, he was very bad at aiming it. The only time he did anything useful was that one time he parked Sergeant Bash's flamethrower. That was...
I'd still watch that match.
It was funny. But, yeah, Rapid kind of ends up how I expected it to go. I mean, yeah, Rapid... it's a great robot and well-engineered, but it's frail. So, spinners
got shattered.
Yeah, spinners are pretty much its one problem, and unfortunately, again, like something like Magnetar, drum spinner's even worse. But even they couldn't make it set on fire. So, yeah, Rapid ends up going out in the best way possible, so I can respect that. At least it went out in a very spectacular way. So yeah, of course, the next fight, in my opinion, it's my favourite fight, apart from the grand final fight, was of course Behemoth against Eruption. This was amazing, this fight, personally.
It was a good fight, just my least favourite out of the entire lineup tonight.
How come?
It's just because we saw it twice before in the last series.
Well, that's true, but this one was a lot more intense than the other ones.
True, and yeah, you can say the same argument for the grand final later. Spoilers, but at least with the grand final, we got a different result. This one was just the same result again.
Yeah, at least it went for the full 3 minutes and was just entertaining to watch.
Yeah, true.
And I mean, I just generally just enjoyed watching it anyway, because it was just, again, seeing two robots that almost evenly matched. Let's face it, Eruption is better than Behemoth in terms of a flipper, so you're just able to get on DT a lot easier. There's a lot more intensity, and the amount of times that Eruption failed to get Behemoth out of the arena was so...
That was funny.
That was nail-biting, but also really hilarious at the same time, and it was a great fight. I mean, it was just one of those things where it's hard to describe as much, because a lot of the action is just flipping. But it was it was generally fun to watch, in my opinion. It wasn't my least favourite, but it wasn't my favourite. But it was one of the best fights, in my opinion, of the... Although my favourite is still the Grand Final fight, and the Robot Rumble for how intense it is, but this is definitely a good fight. It's hard to... Not much to say about it, really, you know what I mean? It's just... I think it's just good. And
yeah, like I say, it was a really good fight. It's just... there were better fights tonight, in my opinion.
Fair enough. Then watching Carbide versus Nuts 2, the rematch of the rematch, ends up in 2-1 overall against for Carbide because, yeah, Nuts 2 lost half of its bar. Better than last time, it lost the entire thing in one go.
And yet it was still spinning.
Yeah, it looked really lopsided. It's like in Robot Arena 2 when your spinners loses the thing at one side, it starts getting a bit wobbly. But it was still relatively stable, but then the wheel hit, killed it. It was still moving, but it couldn't move properly.
You could tell it was out of control.
Yeah, it was like stopping and starting. The chain kept getting caught in the wheel as well, which didn't help.
Like that wasn't the team like driving the wheel into the walls repeatedly.
No. Actually, one thing I forgot to mention, in its first fight against Carbide, the Minibot almost KO'd it.
Yeah.
And the Minibot tried to do it again, but it wasn't able to do it this time. I think one of them got killed by Carbide in this fight. As well. I think
one of them got killed by Carbide in the first fight, and then both of them got killed by Carbide in this fight.
Yeah, one of the wheels went flying on one of them. And
it was the end of the red Minibot.
It was the end of the road for Nuts 2, unfortunately. It's a shame they didn't do a third-place playoff, honestly, but I think Behemoth came third, honestly, because they actually were still moving.
Yeah.
But it was a valiant effort to come fourth in this series, and the battle was mostly over in 2 hits, but it was still really great to see, Nuts 2. It technically did survive. It got fucked up in Series 8 way worse. Lost a wheel, it lost its entire thing, its mini-bots got completely trashed.
The motor got literally pulled out of the robot.
And thrown out of the arena.
Yeah.
It was I'm surprised it even, survived against terahertz, honestly, even got to work again afterwards, but it was worse off there, admittedly, but it was still... The wheel did look kind of bent inwards, and it just didn't look very... It was having a good time, but they get the sportsmanship award for this heat, because...
They get a gold fucking medal for this series.
Yeah, it's more worth than a gold star. It's a gold medal. It was honestly well deserved, and it's a shame, but it was kind of expected, I guess, particularly with the actual good, effective Nutbuster. But always from Rapid, which made me laugh.
Yeah.
Property of Rapid.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was great.
But I go back to my point earlier. Like, when do you see Carbide making adjustments for a specific robot?
Never.
The answer is never.
Yep, never. And it actually worked this time, though. Either that or I just didn't get the right hits in, but either way, yeah.
Yeah, it worked, but the fact that they had to do it...
Actually, I'm still wondering how Carbide managed to hit the ring when it's so low to the ground. It must have just shook it loose or something. It doesn't look like it was very well held on. It just kind of slid out, didn't it, as opposed to breaking off. It was kind of angled in, but didn't really welded properly, or something must have gone wrong with the welding or something, because... It didn't look like it was like a very powerful hit, and it just managed to fall off somehow. But I don't know. But it was still amazing. It was still an amazing show from Nuts 2.
To be fair, we've seen Carbide fuck up much tougher armor than the bar. So.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So maybe it's just a case of the power, really. But yeah, Nuts 2 coming fourth and Behemoth coming third is still a satisfactory grand final, which means it's not going to appear in Series 11. It's the law. If you come third in Robot Wars reboot, you can't come back again. Or at least not in the next series, anyway. TR2, Ironside 3, and now... Actually, Behemoth doesn't have a number in its name, so maybe. So maybe it might not. But also, Behemoth's a staple. I can't imagine them ever doing that to Behemoth. Terahertz and Behemoth, the two robots, will never do it too.
It's not Robot Wars without Behemoth.
Yeah, and the producers believe that as well. So, it's a favourite, so... It's like them and Terahertz pretty much get a free pass almost, because they're awesome to the producers anyway, at least.
Even though Terahertz needs to upgrade the robot.
It needs to be upgraded a bit, but Behemoth is still fine as it is, honestly. It just needs to win.
It did do a lot of that this series.
It did indeed. Won a heat, so that's impressive enough. And the grand final. It's a repeat, admittedly, Eruption versus Carbide, but this went a lot differently than last time, because,
Yeah.
as a recap from Series 9, they got obliterated. Pretty much Eruption didn't really have a chance against Carbide in Series 9, they just got obliterated.
And recap from earlier in the series as well.
Yes.
They got obliterated.
And they got obliterated. It looked completely worn out after the grand final. Here, they did get hit a bit, and it did look like it got some bad hits, but it was nowhere near fucked up last time. It's basically the flipper took most of the brunt, and that was it. I mean, the back end and the sides were still relatively fine. It got some flips. Carbide actually, his weapon started stopping and starting at some point. It was kind of tense. I thought, oh, Carbide's broken. Then it spun back up again, and then it stopped permanently, and it got flipped over more and more, and Carbide started running away.
This was an amazing grand final.
And it was brilliant seeing Eruption finally win, honestly, because an Eruption, and some people are a bit, aren't you? I mean, some people like Eruption and some people don't. Anderson.
Eruption's a very hit and miss robot for a lot of people.
It's understandable. I can understand why.
Like, some people say it's a very compact and very good flipper, but some people also say, it's a Chaos 2 clone, or some people just say, it's just another boring flipper.
I'm sort
of... Try doing that!
It's true. I'm sort of in the mid-ground with Eruption. I love it as a robot. It's a great robot. I love... The team are great. I think it's well-driven. It's a beautiful robot. My only problem is I think it is a little bit... It's a little bit generic in some ways. Like, it's tactique. Just flipping robots out the arena, and that's pretty much its tactic, like it did in the live show as well. Yeah. But at the same time, it's effective. That's the thing. It's effective to me. And I don't hate Eruption, really. I guess compared to some other robots like Apollo, even though it's not as effective, it just has more personality looking at it and stuff. I don't know. It's one of those things it's hard to... I can't say I hate Eruption, but at the same time I can't say I absolutely adore it, but...
Yeah.
Regardless of that, I think it earned this, hands down. I can't take anything away from it. It was just a brilliant performance, sustaining all those hits. I was sat there going, this is going to end up like last time. It started off pretty much the same way. Carbide attacking them. I was like, oh god, this is going to be a foregone conclusion. Nothing's going to happen. They're going to break down, hit a wheel, like they did in the heat, and that's it. And then, nope, Carbide started smoking out of nowhere.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people would have thought, this is going to be the same as any other time, but no, it was entirely different this time. And my thoughts on Eruption... I love the robot ever since I first saw it in Newport when they came here in 2013, and they had a really good match with Behemoth then. And I've always liked the robot, but when I watched the show and I got to know who was behind it, I thought, this kid seems a bit of a stick in the mud. But upon further reflection, I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively, and I'm exactly the same. So when I see how competitive he is, I think he's just doing what I do. He's just playing not just to win, but to gain the experience as well. And now I have a whole new respect for him, and I was really happy with him winning today.
It was a worthy winner, and I can't take anything from that. It was amazing fight, amazing winner, and most importantly, Carbide lost twice. So honestly, anything to see Dave not smug is honestly a positive in my books, and anything to see Gabe fail is even better. So honestly, and seeing Rapid go flying, honestly, this is like the best heat for me in terms of like robots I'm not a big fan of or teams not a big fan of, and then them seeing losing them. It's so fun. I mean,
this is definitely up there with the best episodes of Robot Wars ever, in my opinion. And
actually, honestly, overall, this has made this series honestly probably my top 3 now. It might be second now. I have to reflect, watch it again. When I get the DVDs, I have to watch them again, make sure you go through it. The specials, the inevitable special or specials, wherever they are, take into account. I can't really take those into account too much because they're just side bits of fun. But I still think this has been a great... I mean, I love the format. The format's great because every robot gets 2 chances to fight. I like while the less robots was a bit of a disappointment, the fact that I feel like some robots, I felt like they could have just... Some robots could have got in more than others.
Yeah.
But, not saying anything against taking anything against Traction, but when you realise that some robot wasn't able to make it in because Traction got in, it does make you feel a little bit. But at the same time, I think maybe if they expand the robot numbers, I think they could probably make it into 6 or 7. So I mean, they probably get an extra heat out of this, honestly.
Yeah.
Or maybe, make 2 semi-finals like they used to. I don't know, I'm saying, there's a lot of people wanting to be on the show, so I think maybe there's still opportunity to do it.
Yeah, like there was a lot of robots that sadly missed out in this series. Like one I wanted to see was Triforce.
Oh, Triforce in fairness were in, but then they broke down.
Yeah, but they couldn't control the multi brain technology that they
Honestly, I wanted to see
based the whole robot on.
I wanted to see King Bee and Jellyfish with Ice Cream appear. They were two I was very ashamed didn't get in.
Yeah,
Nelly Ellibot didn't get in, which is Sarah Mallion's robot. That didn't get in either. I think some other robots. I think getting I think another robot that failed to qualify. Glitter Bomb failed. I think
yeah,
they did.
Glitter Bomb failed. What's the name of that?
Infernal Contraction failed to get in. I think they were
Yeah,
they were on the
I
reserve.
like the look of the new Infernal Contraption.
It looks better than the original one sucks. I actually like it a little bit more now. But yeah, there's a lot of robots that didn't make it in, and
Oh, what's the name of that? Something Force as the pneumatic spike on it.
oh, that's Point Blank.
Oh, Point Blank, Point Blank.
Mind you, they had it coming because in Series 9 and 10 they failed the safety records twice. So,
Yeah.
you know, honestly, it's their fault rather than them. They were competent. And also, there's
It's
another
still a lovely looking machine, though.
It is. Actually, I think Mega Melvin also tried to get in as well, which is basically similar to design to what Apocalypse was.
I was about to say they're the same thing, aren't they?
I think they've got a different. I think they're different actually. I think they're
Are they?
different, but they're pretty much the same design. I think so because they were in the trailer. Yeah, I think it was in the trailer where they were using their axe, but it wasn't Apocalypse. It was their other robot, Melvin, whatever it was, Mega Melvin. And then some of the robots, like why did you bring a different version of Iron Ore? Should have just done that. Again, some robots. I mean, I don't know. All the robots didn't fail to get in, but there's some robots I just think I just like to see them over. In I-93, to bring them in. They weren't completed, granted, but they could at least give them a try. Yeah, but overall, I think for the overall quality of the robots, excluding maybe about 4 or 5 of the robots, I think this was a very solid series of robots.
Yeah.
Although I still have to complain about Heat 2, but in so many grand finals in the same thing. I'm sorry, I don't care how much tension you want to put in it. They should have just really split them out because they should have learned a lesson in Series 9, but they didn't, and made it worse. If anything, put 3 grand finals in the same one.
That was just a slap in the face to all the people that complained about Apollo and Carbide being the same heat last Wars.
Yeah, if I just put Eruption, Aftershock, and Carbide in the same one. And then just throw in 3.
And then just for good measure, put Big Nipper, another former champion.
And then and then throw Gabriel for fun, and throw a fodder robot in. So Crackers. I mean, I love Crackers and Smash, but honestly, they're just fodder, like Coyote.
What chance did they have in that heat?
It's like Coyote and Crackers and Smash are pretty much the same level for me. I like them, but they're not effective in battle.
Yeah, it's like Dave, I love you, but you had no chance.
Yeah, again, the same with I love Jamie as well from Coyote, but your robot. Granted, they weren't lucky this series, but at the same time, they weren't going to win the heat, especially with Thor.
No.
I mean, can't beat Thor. It's not going to be able to beat Magnetar, are they? So Thor's worse than Magnetar, so yeah, relatively. But overall, this series has been amazing. I loved Series 8. I was a bit disappointed with Series 9 overall, particularly because the Ram Robin format definitely with some of the spin, especially with Heat 4, really showed how that format was a disadvantage. You get 8 robots and half of them go in the first round. And, like, it were very simple things like we never saw Killy Cranky, Tomahawk.
Well, it was always been like that in Robot Wars. Like they get rid of half the robots first, don't they?
Oh, that's true, but I think in the new format you have it just felt like particularly the round robin format afterwards. It ended up some robots were getting just because they were just not as hit, like Heavy Metal. If Foxec hadn't got flipped over, Heavy Metal would have lost, and then they just they defeated Mr. Speed Square because anyone can beat because they're shit, and then they just lost. Yeah, but Draven. Yeah, so that's because when they were working in the first round. And also it's Draven, and Draven sucks as well. So that's not much of a difference. That's like saying Warhog got beaten. Whoa.
You really do not like Draven.
It's one of those things I didn't hate it until I don't know. I don't even really hate Draven. It's more just at this point now. It's more of a joke of me just insulting Draven every time it's mentioned. It's just it's my thing at this point.
Draven has become the new Twister.
Oh, it's not that bad. I can't even.
We haven't mentioned Twister in a long time, but we seem to mention Draven everywhere chance we get.
I mean, because Draven's more relevant. Twister died in Series 5. Draven keeps appearing. And also, Draven's kind of not as bad because they have the same robot, whilst Twister actually had a robot that worked and they got rid of it. Well, Draven never worked, so it's kind of like, oh, who cares? It's like Napalm. Whoa. Yeah, this series has been great. I mean, I love the format. I hate the Fog of War. Just get rid of it. Just fucking get rid of the Fog of War. It's shit.
Even Jonathan Pierce hates the Fog of War.
The judges hate the Fog of War. They can't see anything. The competitors don't like the Fog of War because all it does is let spinners spin up. The audience don't like the Fog of War because you can't see anything. It's loud.
we failed to notice, failed to note that during the, I think it was Eruption versus Behemoth fight, as soon as the fog of war went off, one of the team members of Behemoth just climbed up on the glass just to see what was going on.
I think it's a meme at this point. They just had to just recreate it.
Yeah.
Oh, but this series has been amazing. I mean, I was a bit disillusioned by Series 9 just because, again, more the round-robin format just kind of made things a bit stale when you knew one robot's just going to win because they're beating
And the fact it was incredibly predictable, Series 9.
Yeah, predictable. I mean, some heats weren't as much. Like, again, the Sabertooth one with the terahertz, that was kind of interesting. Though in the first heat, actually, the first heats of every series have been relatively consistent, and it kind of drops after the second heat. Like, the third heat has been awful.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
It's funny. The Heat C of this heat, the Bucky one, even though it's funny because it has Bucky in it, it has Apex, and it has, terahertz and Rapid. I'm like, okay, this should be like an interesting heat, and it is. It bores me more. Like, I rewatched it on because I recorded my TV. I rewatched it one time. I was like, oh my god, this heat is shit. Like, it's not as bad as was it the TR2 heat of Series 8?
Series 8 Heat C had TR2, Danton,
that's the one, yeah.
And King B as the top 4.
God, that was boring. I mean, Big King...
It should have been, though, because they had TR2, Danton, Kier, and Big Nipper. 3 really good robots, one of them being one of my favourite robots.
But of course,
Big Nipper, if you haven't noticed.
Unfortunately, Big Nipper didn't really do that much in that series.
No.
And then TR2 just dominated everything. Dan Compier did the same thing in every fight and died the same way.
Did you just pull a Stuart McDonald?
I said Dan Tonkier.
You said Dan Compier.
I didn't. I said Dan Tonkier.
Yes, you did.
I didn't. I said Dan Tonkier.
You did.
I did not, liar. I'll read this. I'll correct myself if I did, but I didn't. But yeah, that heat should have been better. And then Heat C's, apart from maybe Series 5, and actually around Series 5 to 7, Heat C's are okay. But the earlier series, my god, Heat C sucks. And this one was one of the worst ones in a while. I mean, and Heat C of Series 9 was also pretty terrible. I mean, Concussion and Thor were the only 2 good robots in that entire thing. Mystery Squared broke after the first.
It was more boring than anything.
Yeah, it ends up in a few predictable fights. Thor just hit KO. Heavy Metal not being able to survive against a robot that isn't Mr. Speed Squared when it's broken. Expulsion not doing anything. Foxic dying, unfortunately. Draven being Draven. No, that was Series 8. Who was... Push to Exit, that was it. And that was also...
Yeah, Draven was in Heat B.
That was it, yeah. Also, I was supposed to Exit as well, yeah. I'm getting mixed up with the Heats now. But, yeah, it was... Who was the fourth one? Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course, named them all. But, it wasn't the most exciting. And also Chimera 2 and Tauron Disappointment was just there. And it was a pretty lackluster heat. And also a lot of filler in episode C of this series as well. Really, the lack of vulture traction fight kind of as well. But yeah, no, this series overall has been... I mean, at this stage, would you initially rank it high, or...?
I would rank it as among the best series, this series.
I felt the most satisfied with this series. Like, in a while.
The one thing I didn't like about this series, like the one major complaint, was they got rid of most of the educational segments. Yeah, I really like them.
All they had was the Iron Man guy.
And the, what did the house robots do?
Yeah, that was pathetic. I mean, people complained about the Iron Man one. I didn't mind that.
I like the Iron Man one.
People complaining.
It's showing you what robotics can do for you.
It was quite interesting. And then you got them bothering the judges going, what does the Fog of War do? What are the arena... have we not explained this enough already? Yeah. I remember sat there going, they are really filling up for time here. They know they have no features. Like, I can understand the Heat B, because a lot of things happened in Heat B, so that was enough to fill the episode, but Heat C really was struggling for stuff, and they could have done something... They should put the Iron Man one in that Heat, because at least then it'd be, sort of interesting. I mean, it makes sense in the first Heat, because the Fog of War's new, so they can kind of go over some new things, but... Actually, in terms of features I would improve, it's a very small detail, but one I think is quite necessary, is that I think they should make a difference between when the fight is finishing, the 10 seconds, and the judge's 10 seconds.
Yeah,
because you can't tell. It looks like it's identical. It's literally just red letters, in 10 seconds, and unless you see the judges pushing
I've always been bothered by that. And that's another reason why I think we should bring RevBot back.
I don't think refbot's needed, but I think they should make the countdown time a bit more obvious if they don't show the judges hitting the button. Because
what I think we should do, is either have refbot as a drone,
right,
or have like a set piece of like refbot's head from the original series and a counter underneath it. Have up to 4 counters signifying each robot in the match, and then you'll know when it's immobilized when the counter's going down.
I like that. That's probably quite an idea. I like the drone idea, actually. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, the set piece would be like a callback to the original series, and it would help us understand when a robot is immobilized.
Actually, one thing I kind of missed as well from Series 9, it's a very small detail as well, but I kind of like the bit where they came into the arena with the little bits of smoke and the robots there. I kind of like that. I kind of like the substitute they had in Series 10 with them kind of just being coming from the darkness.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I kind of like the fact, because they could have a little bit of a play, a bit of a joke during that bit. Like, you got Rapid with his little umbrella, you got the Rusty team picking each other up, you've got the, they got the Thor doing his axe,
Yeah.
I love those little bits they used to do, and then it kind of just went.
Got Alex's mum from TR2 with her hair going all over her face.
Yeah, it was funny. It's just these little bit moments that are really funny to me. And I kind of think they got missed, unfortunately, in Series 10. It's just kind of generic, yeah, we're looking cool. And that's really, and sometimes it's weird, like, again, Craig Collier's one looked weird, where he looked kind of glazed for some reason, like, he looked too evil.
Yeah.
And then you got, for some reason, Craig is the one for Apex, even though it's not his machine. But they just, fuck it, Craig's the leader now, even though he was basically on the team because Fox didn't make it in. Although Bucky's was the funniest, just for the mascot.
Yeah.
Just having that as part of that should have been the thing, honestly. It shouldn't have been the team captain. It really should have been. But actually, this is the one heat I don't remember seeing Bucky in at all, because I think everyone must have left by now. So this is the only heat where there's no Bucky, but there was Gabriel. You did see Gabriel once in the background, so Gabriel's wheel did return.
But I think Gabriel in every episode.
Yeah, and I thought Bucky would be at least there, but maybe no, they just... Obviously, they had to leave at this point, because pretty much most of the people are gone at this point. If you're not in the International Special, or the Grand Final, or both, then you're just gone. Obviously. Yeah. So, yeah, there's no Team S-Tech, there was no Craig with his different t-shirts on, there was no Bucky, there was no... Well, there was actually, at least there was Gabriel, but not much else in the background. You can tell it's so barren. It felt so, like, no one else there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's expected. But, actually, I mean, this is one thing I'd like to see return. It was one feature they did in Series 1 and 2 I quite liked, is when they came out with a little door. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah, I did like the door.
I kind of enjoyed that, because if they can only have 6 robots in a heat, they can do that.
And then just Craig staring down.
I always thought it was just to give him more personality to the robots, because you get to see them like come out and like parade around and show themselves around, like you actually get to see them move. Apart from Parthian Shot on Pain, who didn't move at all, pretty much. But
Parthian Shot just moved in a very straight line because it couldn't turn.
Yeah, I heard they were pulling it on a string.
Oh, really?
I heard that. Apparently, I'm not sure that's true, but I heard they work. I think Pain did work for a bit and then stopped. Well, I don't think Power Shot really worked at all until they got it working in. Oh, they filmed it afterwards. I'm not sure. Either way, either it was working and kind of going in a straight line, or they pulled it on a string. I think I heard somewhere.
Oh, wow.
That series too. I'm done with that series now. But I'd like to see that return. I don't know. I just some of those little feet. I know it probably never will, but I always enjoyed. That was one of my favourite things about Series 1 and 2. Just the little parade at the beginning. Like it got you pumped straight away. Who are the robots? Here they all are. Okay, let's start. That was quite cool. A bit like I did in Series 3, but wasn't as cool. But yeah, we've rambled a lot about what's overall Series 10, but this is, it's the end of the series. All we have left is maybe a special or two at most, and then we gotta wait for maybe if there's even going to be. I don't know if there's even going to be a Series 11. There's no announcement. It might. They normally announce it early, but this time they either delayed it or there might not be one. But
well, they're probably just waiting for the warmer weather to film.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to wait for March again or April if they're going to, but...
That was another problem with Series 9, was the CO2 kept freezing up.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot. It was cold. I was there for Series 9. It was freezing. I mean, it's not as bad this year, but last year was, it was pretty bad.
Scotland in winter. Oh, what a depressing sentence.
Yeah, as I said, though, I was lucky because me and Sam got sitting next to the heater. So we were very fortunate in the way we sat. We didn't even plan that. We just saw it there. I was like, oh, sitting here now, right? All right. Yeah, I was there on the 5th of December for watching, I think I saw the 2 opening heats for PP3D's heat, and I saw Polo and Carbide's second round battles, so that was pretty cool. Yeah. But yeah, Series 10 overall is a great series. It's been a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and one heat that wasn't that great, but the other heats around it were actually okay. At least there was only one bad heat.
Upsets, we've had improvements, we've had some of the most interesting newcomers we've seen in a long time.
Yes, obviously we'll be doing our awards for this. Owain is picking the awards this time, because it makes sense, he's on my Minisode guy. And obviously there are some, obviously not going to spoil everything, but some newcomers I've been very impressed with include the Swarm was pretty good. Obviously it's not a new team necessarily, but new robots entirely. I mean, obviously nothing like Bigger Brother and Orte. They were fun. They were probably the most effective cluster bot I've seen in a while. More effective than Crackers and Smash somehow, and they're more heavy.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Blender, pretty much. But, I mean, actually for King of Bots, they're entering like loads of blenders.
Yeah, I saw, and then one wedge.
I think they should probably do that for the new... If they come in a new series, do that. Enter just blenders and a wedge, because that's all you need.
Why not just do that in this series?
Or a heavyweight. A heavyweight blender would be quite cool, like a carbide-type robot.
Bring Bigger Brother back. I'd love to see Bigger Brother back.
Or make Orte more reliable. And then that'd be, because Orte is a brilliant robot. It'd be like Push to Exit, it just needs to work. And personally, my most impressive newcomer was actually Androne 4000. I was so impressed with that robot. I mean, I just wrote it off as a crusher, and that was it. And then it's not going to do anything. And it pierced the bottom of Concussion. It had a good battle against Tauron after getting wrecked almost at the front. It was a really good robot. It was well driven. I think it was well driven. The team were really great. I don't know if they got fired or not, but they still were amazing. And again, I wrote them off as nothing. And they ended up being a big surprise. Probably the biggest surprise of the series for me in terms of new robots. Nuts 2, obviously, biggest improvement. One of the biggest improvements to me. And them and Rapid. Rapid and Magnetar were the three biggest improved robots of the series. Gabriel,
yeah, I would agree with that.
Seeing Gabriel again was just fun. Big Nipper improved actually as well. Big Nipper was also a big improvement. Because the spinner in Series 8 was just, It lifted Big, King B a bit. And that took some polycarb at the back, and that was it.
Chewed up their polycarb and immobilized it that way. How the fuck?
And also the disc kept bending. So it'd just break and have to use the grabber instead. But this time actually the spinner was very effective, and shame they didn't use it in the Rumble. But maybe I'll save it for the grand final if they made it in.
I won't spoil my awards because I have picked each winner carefully, so I won't spoil them now. I'll wait until we film the rewards.
Of course, I don't want to spoil anything like that. What are the highlights we had? Some disappointing robots. Vulture.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like a cool robot, and then I realised, it's spinner's shit. And also, the team are pretty much split up at this point, apparently, from what I've heard. I think it's because maybe it's because Jarvis is a prick. I don't know. That might be part of the reason why. But
you told me off for saying that.
I'm joking. I don't care now at this point. I mean, Jarvis is a bit of a bellend. I mean, the team captain of Vulture, he's great. He seems like a nice guy. I don't know about the other two people because I don't really see much of them. But Jarvis, he's.
Fuck you, Jarvis.
I don't care if I get banned from the unofficial robots. I watch Shuntposting, bitch. That's way more better. I mean, Anson left because of you, and now he's joined Shuntposting. So we've actually recruited a member because of you. So fair play to Jarvis, but. Yeah, and also he shaved his head and became a part of them.
Telling cameras to get away from you on a
No, actually, no. I'll defend Jarvis in that one thing. It's the only time I'll ever defend Jarvis, because, background on that thing. The reason why he was getting annoyed is because the cameraman kept asking what was wrong when he didn't know what was wrong yet. And about 4 or 5 times they kept saying, what's wrong? And he just kind of just turn it off. He got pissed off at them. Basically, because he hadn't seen what the problem was. It was like underneath the robot, the issue. And he couldn't see it yet. And they just kept asking about something he couldn't. And I mean, you gotta admit that's annoying after a while. Yeah, I mean, he was getting it was out of context. That's why it looked like he was a bit of a dick. But that's the one time I will defend Jarvis. Nowhere else. But that's the one time I'll defend Jarvis. That was legitimately not his fault. But yeah, the team apparently didn't get along with each other. Apparently, from what I heard, they split up. Now I hope that I forget his name, the cat team Lapton, but I hope he comes back with a different robot.
Yeah, so do I, because I liked him.
I think you should make the spinner static, honestly, not make it an arm. It'd be perfect, I think. And make it bigger.
I think you should actually get a spinner and not a lawnmower blade.
Yeah, the spinner was very weedy, and it didn't even do anything. Well, a few sparks, maybe, and that was it. It probably wouldn't have been traction, honestly. That's saying something.
I think you should make it spin the right way as well.
Yeah, the spinner didn't spin right. When it was up, it was fine. When it was down, no.
It spun downwards.
God, it's not as bad as Dr. Fist or Fluffy in Series 5, but Jesus. But yeah, there's been great characters again.
the Bucky team.
Bucky team, they're one of the greatest characters in the entire series. The Bucky mascot, and also they've got Griffin as well in King of Bots, which is the same thing. I think it's his brother. He just got stuck in that suit.
Yeah, it is. I've looked it up on the wiki. It's
his brother. Dude, I love that. And he's got the Griffin costume now, which is pretty much Bucky but with a different suit.
Yeah.
He made friends with everybody. Also, James from Donald Thump. My God, he's like the great. He was. I mean, I think him and Bucky are tied for in my opinion, they're tied for my favorite joke entries because they're just so. They're as good as each other. Like Bucky's a silent killer, while Donald Thump is a lot more out there, like expected. But I mean, that was an infection, wasn't it? Getting the caps everywhere. I mean, look. If you look
I tried to buy a cap off eBay.
Oh, did you get one?
No, I didn't have 15 quid in my bank.
It became the new Dietor fur in a way, or like because
if
you notice, every single time you go on Twitter after an episode's aired, there's a picture of him with like either the judges or a team member from that episode wearing the caps, or him like. Or actually, made me laugh. He swapped hats with Rory from Nuts. Like he's wearing his farmer's cap and he was wearing his cap.
Did you notice the spirit of Donald Thump also lived in this grand final? Because when they're showing Corruption vs. Behemoth.
Oh, there's an eye stuck to their
bench. There's just an eye staring at the screen for God knows how long.
Imagine if you didn't know imagine you hadn't heard of Donald Thump and you just saw this grand final and just saw that eye. Like you would know the hell that's like. Where's that on Behemoth? I don't remember that. It was like the Google Eye of Series 9. But yeah, there's so many great. I mean, again, seeing John Reed. Again, getting some good hits for a change. That was always nice to see.
Telling Officer Kill a lot.
Telling Officer Kill a lot. Watching Shunt get neutered. That was Hobgoblin. The only time Hobgoblin did anything in the entire series was then, so that was fun. Push to Exit. Oh, just watching S-Tech just mess a dick about. Was absolutely. I mean, I managed to talk to Anthony sometime this week recently for the first time. That guy's a character. I love him. I'm gonna try and get him. He's gonna try and get him on my podcast or something. I think he's on my one. I managed to get him for a few episodes. And yeah, those guys are great. I also got the infamous screenshot that's on Shuntpost and on the Ultimate Robot Wars.
Yeah,
Visual Robot Wars, which just
Steven finally getting his moment on screen.
That was fun. Yeah, people actually believing he's on the show now. And also, did you watch his review where he gave Push to Exit a little hug?
Yeah.
Oh, I felt so sorry for. I mean,
and he flies to Disneyland because he lost to Expulsion.
That wasn't the saddest and hilarious moments ever. Whoa! What am I doing in Disneyland? But
it was like a real like feel good moment just seeing him walk out of that green screen room and into his collection, and there's Push to Exit on the table.
Yeah, and honestly, Push to Exit in this capital really highlight to me that this series in particular showed that these, and we all know they are, but it made you feel like these guys are real people. Like they're just, end of the day, they're just lads and lasses who just want to make robots, have fun, and just kill each other in the war zone.
Yeah,
and have fun at the same time. And it was just, you got to see lots of great characters, lots of great teams, newcomers, people improving, shocks. Every heat, at least one shocking moment.
We saw it once again. Old robots coming back, like Big Nipper and Iron Ore 6.
And some doing better than others.
Yes.
Nicey small favourites. Got to see Gabriel again if it lasted 2 seconds, pretty much. But it was nice to see him come back and survive against Carbide. It was just a great series.
This was a really good series.
I mean, when I look back at Series 8 and 9, they were great series, but I feel like particularly with Series 9, it always felt very kind of structured. Like, these are the teams, these are the robots that's going to battle, they're out, they're gone. No interviews afterwards.
Series 9 for me was it was predictable. Like, in the grand final, you could tell that was the best 6 of the series, and just by looking at them on a sheet of paper.
And also, for people who weren't sure about the new hosts, God damn, Angela's awesome in this series.
Yeah, like, we're not going to get it back for Series 11.
It's true, potentially, yeah. I mean, I don't know who the replace her with, or they'll just have Dara, but they might replace her with someone for that one too. Like
Dara in a wig.
Dara in a wig, yeah, he plays both of them. Like a half wig, like on one side he's Angela, the other side he's Dara.
It's like, oh, what did you think of this match, Dara? Oh, I thought it was really good, Dara. Oh, so did I, Dara. Oh, you're looking very good, by the way, Dara. Oh, thank you, Dara.
That's all he does. But no, I like Dara in the series, but I really enjoyed Andra so much. I loved them both anyway in Series 8 and 9. They were just refreshing seeing both pit reporters and both pit reporters and presenters. But
the biggest problem with Angela when Robot Wars was first announced to be coming back was no one knew who she was. Like the most people have seen of her was on the One Show, but I don't know a single person who watches the One Show.
I'd never heard of her, honestly. I don't watch the One show, so I'd never heard of her, but...
Neither do I.
This is officially giving her the big break, in a way.
Yeah, but when we actually saw her, and the amount of character she brought to Robot Wars, the amount she was intrigued, she knew what she was on about, you could tell she was invested, to the point where she's even helping teams fix their robots.
Yeah, I think personally, like, Dara was the comedic side, Angela was the enthusiastic side. And together, these two work really well. I mean, I definitely prefer Dara over... Angela over Dara, but I love Dara as well. I mean, he's one of my favourite comedians of all time, but... Angela, I mean, this particular series, she was all out. She's, especially in that grand final, she's going, "Oh my god!" She's like screaming and really getting into it, and it was an amazing experience. And
you could tell both of them loved being there.
And honestly, they knew it was a joy and an honour to be part of this new series. And again, when you're starting up, you're not too sure, but when by series 9, they were comfortable into it. You got Dara making the jokes, Angela with all the enthusiasm, and just
and. The one thing I'm happy about is that they didn't try to be the old folks. They didn't try to be Philippa and Craig. They didn't try to be Jane and Mick Foley from Extreme Warriors.
Thank goodness they
weren't Jane. They were themselves.
At least they weren't the American guys. Thank goodness.
Hey, what's wrong with Mick Foley? One of my favourite wrestlers.
I mean, as a presenter on the show, not as a... I know nothing about his wrestling capabilities, but in terms of the show, I just like, I'll take the Dutch guy any day. The other guy was brilliant. Forgotten his name because it's a foreign-sounding name, but my god, that guy, something Van something, and it's going to be, but...
At least they didn't put Angela in revealing lingerie like they did with Joni Laura.
Yeah, I'll say, actually, before we cut this off, I will say fuck you to any person who's, like, wanting to, she's wearing the jumpsuit. Oh, no, oh. Well, it's like...
What else do you wear when you're engineering?
Yeah, exactly. If anything, the other people's presenting gear was actually very kind of... it was kind of funny, because when Philippa started off, it was kind of normal, and then it just ended up being just, what the hell, by the end of it. Like, a bit like Craig Charles, he started off just in the... just started in the standard black kind of costume, and now it's just tassels, he's going, way! So yeah, Anne does great. As always.
Yes. I will say she is better than Philippa.
I agree.
Oh yeah, I said it.
No, I
Come
agree.
at me.
No, I agree. She is. I mean, we had some epic moments in the series as well. Pretty much every heat had an epic moment. You've got Rubber Duck going flying, you've got the spikes going flying, you've got Smash hitting the ceiling.
Yeah.
Aftershock flying and the Apex blowing up. That
was glorious.
Apex blowing up.
I won't give in till I'm victorious.
Apex blowing up is hands down one of the most what the hell moments of any series, because it just came out of nowhere. Just one little hit, another tap, and then bye. Bye, bar. That almost can kill the audience. Bye, Smash. And then you got Sad Craig, which was very sad.
Yeah, that not everything our heroes do is worth remembering.
He's worth remembering. But, oh my god, this series is amazing. It's like something moments as well. Again, I just love seeing all the banter between the teams as well.
Yeah.
I mean, watching the kegs alone was always funny to watch. Just watching them bring a little wedge in, and then getting obliterated 2 seconds later.
It was really cool.
I mean, those were durable kegs. Just
yeah.
The rest of the robot wasn't. I mean, they survived, but didn't do really well. Oh, well, what were the highlights for you that were quite good?
Highlights for me, I would say, well, Behemoth winning.
Yes.
Behemoth winning his heat after a really good fight. I would say the Swarm actually swarming up on Donald Thump was really funny to watch.
That was amazing. That's when that point where I realized, oh my shit, Blender's good.
The ultimate betrayal between Eruption and Aftershock.
Yeah, that should be the biggest anime betrayal of all time.
Heel turn.
It's also one of the funniest KOs as well, because just bounce out breaking the arena at the same time. He just has to break the arena even when it leaves. Actually, most of the entanglement devices did shit all in this entire series.
Yeah, there was only one instance of an entanglement device doing good.
And that was Gabriel, but it didn't really affect the motor.
No, it was on the wrong side.
No, so it was kind of useless. Everything else, Push to Exit did so much stuff. I mean, I was disappointed in Push to Exit. I mean, I love the team and all that, but they really need to work on that robot to make it better.
Oh, Steven, what are you doing to me?
I know he just he's always been a disappointment, but now
Don't call him that. He's on our show.
well, he's not going to be any more looking like that. No, I love you, Stephen. Don't worry, I love you, Anthony. I love you, Shane, Swan with your hammer of doom, and I'm sure you when you and now it's the shoe of doom. Obviously, throwing the shoe was one of the biggest highlights for me as well. And obviously Stephen and Anthony realising they're not just friends. From my screenshot anyway.
You had Apex actually taking Rapid to the judges' decision. That was really cool. Nuts obliterating everything in his heat.
Nuts was one of the biggest surprises of this entire series. I mean, it carried on into the grand final as well. It was,
and it beat Carbide.
Yeah, it beat Carbide. I mean, there's not many robots that can say they've done that.
No.
I mean, the only robots that have beaten Carbide so far are Terahertz, TR2, Apollo, Eruption, and Nuts 2.
One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah, the most out of place one. And a lot it's weird. It's that little club of I beat Carbide club.
Yeah.
You get a gold sticker. You get a little Team Toad sticker on your robot. Or a Tauron sticker. It's got tons of those. Like Concussion. They're just giving out stickers.
Or the Bucky sticker.
Oh, I want a Bucky sticker. I need that on my life.
I would like a Bucky sticker.
Oh, I'd love that. I mean, other highlights to me included just the mascot. Like, just this mask. I mean, I mentioned it before. My God, what is this thing?
Dara reenacting Casablanca with the mascot.
That was adorable. Seeing them basically replace one of the judges without realizing when on Twitter. Imagine that's how Lucy found out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, really? Oh, I'm getting replaced by a Mucky mascot. I can't say anything. Great. It must have been very hard for him being in character to not talk.
Yeah, it must have been really hot in that suit as well.
Yeah, it must have been. I mean, it was March, but in Scotland, but still, it must have been quite hot. And he was just always in the background, waiting and watching.
Yeah.
The best one for me was obviously in the last heat, where you have Team S-Tech just after the battle, and you just see it in the corridor, really far away, like at the end, like from The Shining, just staring at them. It's like, soon.
That mascot deserves its own web series.
Yes. Although there was one moment in the series I really wish they'd shown. It was a clip of Craig Danby and the Bucky mascot skipping down the aisle.
Yeah, that would have been great to see.
And they never showed it. Why? Why was that not shown? That would have been the best thing ever. If that was the case. I mean, okay, we got Dara in him. That's good enough.
Yeah.
But, I wanted to see Craig as well. Not depressed that his robot is not working properly. So his robot, it's not his brother's robot, it's his robot, obviously. We all know that.
At least we saw Craig help fix Andron.
Yeah, that was very nice. And also Angela fixing Andron was also pretty cool. Just seeing her getting stuck into there, that was really nice.
Yeah.
Also, we have to say RIP to robots we lost in this series. We lost King Bee. We lost Jellyfish with Ice Cream. We lost Glitter Bomb. We lost obviously some voluntarily. We lost PP3D.
Yeah.
We lost Team Memento Mori. That was a sad day, not seeing those guys appear. And also losing Supernova as well for a series.
Oh, that is the worst.
That was sad. And TR2 as well. Once again.
Yeah, but Alex has his education to think about.
No, that's fair enough. That was a legitimate reason. It wasn't because they didn't get in. They just chose not to go. But Supernova, I can understand wanting to improve the technology, because Supernova was great in Series 9. It just needed to...
Yeah.
They just need to do a bit more tinkering with it, and also... I can't wait to see what Memento Mori come up with next, if they enter again. Because...
It's like, how much I love Supernova. Not seeing it just didn't feel right for me.
No, I love Supernova. Actually, it's the first series in ages.
Yeah.
The only
Since Series 2 that they haven't made an appearance one way or another.
Yeah, Series 1 is the only series they never appeared in prior to this.
Yeah.
In any
Series 3, but they were in the pinball.
You still saw them, yeah, at least, but thank God they changed the Supernova after Oblivion, because Oblivion 2 sucked.
Oh god.
I mean, Oblivion was better than Oblivion 2. That's saying something. That was just a wedge. That had a light that, if it broke, shattered the whole robot's electronics. So, that's saying something.
That was invertible as well.
Yeah, its sequel robot looks like a bland box with an axe, and it ended up getting its armor crushed by saw point. So, Chassis, sorry, that's saying something. But then Supernova came in and started doing a bit better. But this new version of Supernova, it was a shame not to see him again. Also, one I'm not missing is Mr. Speed Squared and Draven. No offense to the... Mr. Speed Squared is not a bad robot, I don't know. Only times you can see the robot fail after the first round before you just think, okay, this is just predictable at this point.
I like the aesthetic of Mr. Speed Squared. I do like the greasy junkyard look of a robot.
No, I like the design of it. I just think... Actually, it would have been better to see it in this series, because it would have been in 2 battles and it would have been gone. While having to see it in 3 battles limp through, it's kind of boring. Especially in Series 9, where it was just predictable as fuck. And then, of course, Draven, yeah, not too surprised Draven didn't... I don't think they entered, I don't think, but... Oh well. Not the worst robot not to see back, I guess. I mean...
Fuck Draven.
Yeah, it's just my meme at this point now.
Yeah.
I've seen Chomplot return, that'd been quite funny. Just seeing them come back again.
Yeah, but they blew up in Series 8.
Oh, they did, but seeing them blow up again in Series 10 would be even... have 2 blowouts in one series, not just one. That'd be great. But we have, we got that's our honorable mentions and casualties. Best people in the show, obviously. I enjoyed seeing Craig. I loved seeing James from Donald Thump. I love the Gabriel kids again. Nice to see them come back with Craig as well.
Yeah, Shane.
Shane Swan. Yep, he was awesome.
Stoneface Michael.
It was nice to see Tom from Tauron get a bit more screen time. You didn't see him much in Series 9.
Yeah, he does seem really enthusiastic about this sport, which I like.
Yeah, because him and Tim from Concussion are best mates, so it just show. Yeah. It's just show, because you see a lot of pictures of them together and stuff, and it's pretty cool seeing. Plus, the new Tauron looks pretty good.
It does.
It's basically the same kind of robot, but slightly wider, so it's gyroscopics don't get it as badly. It's the same height though, and it bucks a bit more like a bull, so
yeah,
it's pretty cool. And also the new Expulsion might be coming out, so we'll get to see what that looks like, hopefully. Also, there's a new Chimera bot coming out, I believe, called Fenrir.
I saw that.
I can't wait to see what that looks like. It's not a thwack bot this time, so which I'm glad about, because Chimera 2 looked cool but wasn't very effective. But it's nice to see them try a different robot this time and see what they can come up with.
Yeah.
So I'm game for that. Anything's better than Expulsion from Series 10, because... Yeah, the camouflage.
I know how much I didn't like Expulsion, so...
I like the enthusiasm of the team, I love the team, I love the idea of the robot, I like sort of the compactness of the robot. It's just flawed, that's its problem, it's just a flawed design, so...
It's a very outdated design. It's the sort of design you'd see a robot that failed to qualify for Series 3.
Yeah, no, Traction's the most outdated robot, I'm sorry. Because it legitimately is just a Tract. It's just Suicide Tendencies from Series 4.
If you look on the wiki, it's actually a bomb disposal robot.
Yeah, made by the Ryland family who made Terminal Frosty.
Yeah.
So they're good engineers. I think obviously it's kind of taken from them and revamped their own robot. But nice to see Will Thomas helping out and stuff. And it's a shame he wasn't on camera more helping him out, really.
No.
Because obviously they had to keep him separate for Aftershock. I think once Aftershock went out, they could have had him a bit more in. I don't know. He still appeared in the Rumble.
In a way. Cardboard Will.
Yeah, Card Will. Yeah, he appeared. After Flop. Still can't go over that name. I suppose I have to rewatch and check that name. I believe you. I just didn't see it. I just saw the symbol, but
yeah, I was just like looking at it carefully, trying to figure out what it was, and as soon as I realized I read the name, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Is anyone I haven't mentioned? Oh yeah, one robot as Cav. I just think was so. I mean, probably to me, it's my choice. If I'm making a list, it would be my most forgettable robot was Apocalypse. Just existed.
I had so much high hopes for Apocalypse. I thought it'd be the next Shockwave.
No,
because you remember in the Series 10 review, I chose it to come third in its heat at least,
and it came last.
Yeah,
straight. I mean, it had a good go against Sabretooth. That was really all it did.
It just wouldn't work.
It worked sort of, but then the motor started giving out. I mean, its first battle, it was so memorable. It didn't do anything in its first battle. In the second battle, it tried and still failed, which is a shame, but... not every robot's built equally, not every robot's remembered equally, I guess. I mean, in fairness, I love Coyote, but they were forgettable this series. Like, I legitimately forget Coyote exists sometimes in this series, because it just...
And you've got the backplate.
I know, I love Coyote. Hold on. Yep. So I've got I love Coyote. I love the new design as well. I like the clock motif on the claw, which I only noticed until...
I didn't realize it was a clock motif until I saw Steven's review of the
Yeah,
episode.
same here. I just thought it was just circles, like a kind of spirally design, and then obviously they have the pipes which kind of fell off, but were kind of sacrificial armor in a way.
They were aesthetic.
Yeah, and the chainsaw did nothing, but it's never meant to do anything. But
No.
again, it's all I mean, the whole robot is built to be aesthetic, but the wedge cat ruined it for them. But
Yeah.
again, it's kind of weird because Coyote's one of those robots that, again, it's still like Crackers and Smash. I kind of like them. They're in the same vein, but they just don't do anything in battle, and they're kind of boring for that reason. Which is a shame, because I like the teams. The teams are great, love the robots, but they just end up being meh to me, which is, I hate saying that, because I like them.
Yeah.
They just don't...
Like,
they just get...
it's the most destruction we ever saw from Coyote was in his package video where it crushed a tire.
Oh, wow. Oh no, deadly. It's like that watermelon from the toe cutter. Chop. There you go. You broke something that's really destructible. Well done. Like if you saw your robot breaking glass, I'd be like, I'm shocked here. Ooh. But everyone else missed out. I think we've talked about at least every robot at some point now in this perspective.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Series 10 competing robots list on the wiki, and I don't think we've missed a single one.
That's the advantage of having 30 robots compared to 42 from the previous series. You know, you get that a little bit more. You get to know the robots a bit better.
Yeah,
But...
yeah. I'm reading the list, and we have mentioned every single robot on here except for two.
What?
It's from the withdrew reserves list: Deadlock and Harpy.
Oh, Harpy was basically Beast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which is okay, fair enough. I mean, Beast. I don't know. Beast is not that interesting to me. I mean, it's not a bad
like
robot.
Beast.
It's fine. It just made no impact in Series 8. It's like that was almost as bad as like Crazy Coupe 88 or Sweeney Todd or something, but except they actually got through.
Yeah, I had no idea the Crazy Coupe 88 team were actually in Series 7.
Yeah, Hood after bad.
Yeah.
And also failed to qualify with two of the robots. One of which I have to also, and the third one with the Iron Heart 88, which honestly I'm kind of not surprised in getting.
It looked alright.
Its build quality wasn't that great from what I heard. They should have just entered Crazy Coupe 88 improved again. But the thing is, alright, the Enterprise, I think hands down one of the worst looking robots I've ever seen in my life. Wiki it, Xbox.
Oh, I've seen Xbox.
Like, Jesus. It's so bland looking. It's like if you made Agent Orange and made it literally just a Mr. Nasty had a baby without the axe.
Yeah.
And it's so tall and bulky. Yeah, that's the reason why they make it in. It's kind of obvious. But yeah, I think. And what's the other robot I mentioned? You mentioned
It was Deadlock.
Deadlock. Yeah, Deadlock just failed the safety stuff, which is I mean, I wonder how you can fail twice in a row at the same thing. Like once, okay, Series 9 I can understand, but was it a different thing after? I'm quite curious about that team. Was it a different thing they failed on, or was it the same safety concern?
We're talking about Deadlock now, aren't we?
Yeah, Deadlock, yeah. Oh, no, sorry, no, that's Point Blank I'm thinking of, sorry. Deadlock's one that just was
yeah,
incomplete.
I was going to say, Point Blank is the one that
Yeah, sorry.
failed.
Yeah, I'm thinking right, yeah. Deadlock was so just... That was the one I wanted to see the most, apart from Triforce. Because I like the look of Triforce, it looked really cool. Deadlock was so... It's that complete control robot, I love the look of it. It just was in pieces.
Deadlock looked a lot like Bite Force from the BattleBots.
Yeah, it was just in pieces. It came in incomplete, it was still had the base armor on it, it just didn't look... It didn't look all well in this picture from like in the pits, and it's obvious it was going to get eliminated because it just wasn't fit to fight. I mean, out of the three, I wanted to see Deadlock the most, but I definitely want to see Triforce and intrigued about Point Blank at least. We haven't seen a spike weapon in a while.
I think the last successful spike weapon we saw was 101.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Really, I mean, there's some other ones that have been kind of there, like Cassius 2, and that's it. But yeah, but it's not been a very popular weapon because it's most of the time just downing force behind them. So I don't know, it looked intriguing. I mean, the weapon from the trailer looked really cool, but it just, again, it's not very safe, which is the most important thing. Rex Garrett would be proud right now. But
I'm looking at the Point Blank page now. It's not listing exactly what caused it to be disqualified, but it's saying it failed the test on multiple accounts, the tech check test. That was Series 9, and it was intended to compete in Apollo's Melee, but it was replaced by Crackers and Smash.
Yeah, I mean, I think I always see Triforce probably and Deadlock the most. Triforce, I mean, the sad thing about Triforce, out of the three robots, it was the most complete looking. Like, it was literally just ready, and it just couldn't work at the last moment. Like, it's annoying because they failed to get into Series 8 and 9. Get into Series 10, doesn't work. And it works at the... And also, the sad thing also is there's one shot, I think, when it's pushed to exit, and you actually see it next to them.
Yeah.
It's supposed to... Because it got replaced by Hobgoblin, so it would have been in that heat. Which actually, Magnetar versus them would be quite interesting. Because it has a very unique omnidirectional wheel, where it's like it's two wheels stacked on top of each other. And I quite liked it. It looked like, when I saw some tests on the YouTube channel, it looked pretty intriguing, and it looks quite slick and stuff. But it's one of the few robots I've ever seen that looks identical to its CAD model I've ever seen. Like, so smooth. It looks so identical. I thought it just looks so nice. And
Bucky looks identical as well.
Yeah, Bucky does as well. And actually, I wanted to see a spinner like Mr. Speed Square, but that's the only type of spinner we got in that series. Like, there's also Gyrobot that failed to make it in Series 8, and I wanted to see them come back as well.
Yeah.
It looks really good. Again, it was almost as heavy spinner as Apex.
I did like the look of Gyrobot.
Yeah, it was disappointing in Series 8, Series 7, but it had promise, and then...
One robot I would have loved to have seen, that I'm looking at the withdrawal reserves list, Ill-Tempered Mutt.
Oh, that looked interesting.
It was a robot from the original series that failed to qualify as well.
I feel sorry for that guy. I think he's trying to sell it now, isn't he?
I think so, yeah. But I think it was Hitman in the original series. I think it failed to qualify for Series 4 and 5. And now it was sold on eBay, and it was revamped to appear in the new series, and it failed to qualify again.
Actually, Terminal Ferocity failed to qualify for Series 8.
Yeah.
Which is basically their new version, which is basically just a giant fuck-off flipper. Like Eoin Ó 6 looks. Basically looks like Eoin Ó 6 slightly. It's that kind of look. It's better than the chainsaw version in Series 3, which is a tank, but nothing else. But, I mean... Yeah, there's a lot of robots that failed to qualify, which is a shame. And again, I would have loved to see TR2 come back again. Obviously, this time they didn't try, but... Again, I feel a bit bad for them not getting in Series 9, which I still don't know why they weren't in Series 9. There's like why you put like a person who comes third on the reserve list?
Yeah.
It just seems like a weird decision. Like, oh, sorry, even though they changed the robot and it's completely different, it looks different. You go, no, sorry. No, I'm not going to put you in.
There's another robot from Series 9 I would have loved to have seen that actually made a cameo in one of the episodes. It's a Pacifier.
Oh, yeah, the Pulverizer sequel from the Dutch series.
Yeah. Do we actually have an official photo of Pacifier? Because I can't see one on the wiki.
No, the only picture is the wiki is in the background with Gabe in Series 9.
Yeah.
There's no official picture of it, because I guess they must have not... By the time they got all the pictures, and also... There's also Pod and Clyde built.
I did not like the look of Clyde built at all.
Pod looked okay, but it was overweight, that's why they get in. Clyde built... I had to say it's one of the worst names for a robot.
Yeah.
On record, I mean, the robot, I'm nothing against the team of the robot, but that name is awful. I mean, it might be reference to something, like where it was from or something, or name of a person, but it just sounds really awkward. Like, Clyde Built. It's like a company name.
It's like you're backstage and it's like, oh, what's that robot? And someone's like, oh, Clyde Built. And you're like, I know Clyde built it, but what's the robot?
It's like an Abbott Costello sketch, isn't it? You know, who's who? He's the bound to who? Who's that? Who? Oh, who's the president of China? Who? I'm asking who? No, who's the president? I'm saying who? Who? Yeah.
I was thinking more along the lines of spam, 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 spam eggs, spam beef, and spam.
Oh, good old Monty Python references.
Love that. Yeah.
It's good. But yeah, it's just, again, just some robots you just kind of wish you'd seen. Like, is there a robot from Series 9 that didn't actually try again that you wish you'd seen? Apart from obviously something like Supernova that actually chose...
Series 9 I wish would try again but didn't. I would have to go with... I'm going to get a lot of flack for this. Frostbite.
No, I agree. If they made a different robot, it could be quite good. I think High Five. I want to see High Five.
I think they should have just sent Smidsy.
Yeah, High Five was kind of cool though, and it's just a shame it didn't really last very long. And Worm knocked it out, so take for that what you will. But yeah,
I'd love to have seen come back because I do like that team a lot.
Hopefully they might come back for a Series 11 if there's one, which I want to see them come back because it's mostly financial reasons they appeared in Series 10. But I want to see what they can come up with this time. They tried a Stinger the Killer Bee looking robot thing.
Yeah.
They've tried a boat. So this time you never know. I don't know.
Mega Mouse I would have loved to have seen come back as well, because I'm a massive fan of Mega Mouse.
Actually, it was such a shame, because I think if they lasted a bit longer, they could have beaten Crackers and Smash.
Yeah,
But-
I actually have a really nice story about Trevor White. He actually let me work the flipper of Mini Mighty Mouse during a live event.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember where it was, but my mum took me to a live show. It was an outdoor live show for Robot Wars. This was years before it was announced to come back. I think it was 2011, I think it was. And I was off looking around, looking at all the robots in the pits, getting the Scorpion team's autograph back when the robot was known as Scorpion. And I was in line for the Battle Rats display. And I saw next to me there was Trevor Wright and his robot. And I was a fan of Mighty Mouse from the original show. I loved Mighty Mouse, so I was just over there asking him questions, being a fan. And it got to the point where he was like, "Hey, do you want to power the flipper for our next match?" And I was like, "Oh my god, really?" So he took me into the pits, got his teammate to show me which button to press and which button not to press, and we actually managed to eliminate Block of Wood.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And that's my claim to fame. I got to power Mini Mighty Mouse's flipper.
That's awesome. That's a good ending story, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got that desperate now. We're talking about robots that didn't make it in, so or never even tried again. So
And ever since then, Team Mouse have just been up there. One of my favorite teams.
They're great, aren't they?
I've always liked Mighty Mouse beforehand, so now I'm even bigger fan.
But yeah, I think that's a good natural ending. Honestly, I mean, we've ranted a lot just about what the series has been like overall, things that have happened, things we've liked, things we've hated.
It's been a rocky road, James.
It has been a rocky road, involving spoilers, involving rages, involving laughs, involving mascots.
Me not talking to you for 12 hours.
Yeah, I was asleep most of that time. Involving mascots, explosions, fire, propellers flying against the audience, robots flying out of the arena on discs.
Angela going, "Ah!"
That's every episode. Angela fixing robots and then going, "Ah!"
Yeah.
Robots almost going, "Ah!" if they could talk. Robots getting their throats cut. Robots having their weapons removed. Robots having weapons improved and destroyed by nutbusters.
The Robot Wars Anchorman crossover, which took Shuntposting by storm, and I still laugh at.
That is the best Shuntpost in a while. It really is. It's just a magnum opus of Shuntpost.
It was so perfect in every way.
Yes, it was. And
this is your shout out, random person who made that, who I can't remember the name of.
Whoever made that, yeah, go to Shuntpost and just look at that, because it's just... Even if you're not part of the show, I think you can look at it if you're not part of the group, I think.
Actually, I will campaign for this. Can we make one of those pictures the thumbnail for this episode, please?
I'll do that, don't worry.
I will send you the entire comic so you can pick the best one.
I've got a lot to pick from. It'll probably be one with like the most teams in it. I'll try and do that.
Because I actually saved the entire comic.
Alright, I'll definitely do that at some point, but I'll do that. I'm definitely going to put it as one of the pictures. I'll decide which one I pick, but this series is... I mean, Alex the Hunted told me, because he was basically my pit reporter for this series. He was giving me all the spoilers of who's in what heat, who's in the series.
Alex the Forester.
What's it, sorry?
Alex the Forester.
Alex the Forester, that's basically what he was. It was his job. He was like the roving reporter for my series. I got information from him and Stephen McCullough as well, kind of a combination. Because Sam wasn't in the series. He was like my kind of guy I used to talk to about Series 8 and 9, but since he wasn't in Series 10, for any capacity, because obviously I think because Dave wasn't there, so I guess there's no reason.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't have or it just was time, I don't know, but either way, he wasn't there. But it was, he told me about this stuff, all this heat lineups, what to look forward to, and he told me this series has a moment in every heat that's amazing, and he also told me this is probably one of the best series in a while.
And he wasn't lying.
He wasn't lying. It's the best reboot series in my opinion so far, and with a little bit of mulling over, this might be one of my favourite series of all time. Definitely in the top 3. Not my... will it be my favourite? I have to watch other series again to confirm, but it might possibly be in the top 2.
It's definitely in my top 3, but it's gonna... I am gonna have to rewatch them again, but it is gonna have to work pretty hard to go over 5 and 6 for me.
6 is gonna be a tough one to beat for me.
Yeah, 6 was a brilliant series. I can't wait to review that with you, too.
Yeah, I can't wait for it either. I mean, I have to get through Series 5 first, but oh well. Actually, Extreme I want to get through, honestly. I am recording an episode this week, so don't worry. I am recording an episode.
Actually, I want to call you out on something before we cut off. I remember all those months back when me and you first started talking, I came onto the show to help you out with Series 5 and Extreme 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've only done 1 Extreme episode and no Series 5 episodes so far, and I've been on at least 10 of your shows.
Well, we need to get through Extreme first. That's the problem. You are scattered through Extreme. Don't worry. And actually, you know, it's one of those things. It's just more a case of the next heat you're in is the Annihilator.
Yeah.
So that's 2 episodes from now.
I've been mainly minisodes and side videos with you.
Hey, at least you're on. You know,
yeah.
Appreciate a gig where you have it. You mean nothing without me.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. That's a compliment. But see, I control the shots.
Feel like it.
Yeah, but yeah, this series is amazing. I can't say it enough. Really, this is great. Thanks for joining me for all these episodes. This Tentijester. You know, you may have stolen my art with permission, so it's not stealing. It's more just a case of it was your original character. Do not steal. But in serious, thanks for joining me on this. It's been spoilers and all. It's been
no problem, boo. I mean, I didn't join you for the first 2 episodes, but
yeah, well, it's nice of you to join me and stuff in general. Because I mean, I was boring by myself. I mean, the second episode, I was like, this is just awful. I should have redone it in retrospect, but I thought.
And then I came over. I was like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah, and then you kind of made it a lot better. And the 4th episode was not even a minisode at this point. Which by this point I'm just calling them minisodes in brackets because they really aren't. This will definitely get like 2 or 3 sets of brackets.
I was about to say, because we've been going for an hour and 45 right now.
This will have 3 lots of parentheses. Don't worry. Oh, sorry, apostrophes. Sorry, I'm getting them mixed up. But yes, this is the end of Series 10 as in terms of the main canonical series, so to speak. There may be one. I know there's definitely an international special. I don't know if there's another special. I've heard things. I don't know. I don't think there is in this series. Maybe it's planned, or maybe they planned it for this series and then they're going to do it for a future special or series. Either way, there's definitely an international on Quinox. We've seen all the international flags in this heat, so something's brewing. Just announce it on Twitter, goddammit, please, or something.
But either way, like, this may be the last series because nothing's been announced yet. But if it is, it was a perfect way to go.
Yes, I want to see my scale replica of Sergeant Bash, please.
Yeah.
I want to see it, and I want to see Terra Turtle, and I want to see Deertle.
I want to see Terra Turtle win a fight.
Yeah, because otherwise I'll have a 6-0. I have a 6-0 loss. It's yeah.
If you go on their page on the wiki, the team page, they've only got 1 win to their name. It was their middleweight.
Steel Sandwich.
I actually like Steel Sandwich.
I like it. It's just out of all robots, Steel Sandwich is the one that. Oh, but man, looking at the kegs and Terra Turtle, it's not a big surprise. But it's the most sturdy robot they've made.
I still can't believe I pointed out the fact that the kegs actually damaged their own armor in their promotional picture because the bar was too close to the body.
Oh Jesus! It's good. It's quite classic Terra Turtle team building quality. I love it. Anyway, love the team though.
He is a sweetheart.
Yeah, John Frizzell's great. I mean. He may be over environmentalist guy with his Robot Wars, but goddammit, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
And his team again mismatched as hell, but work together somehow. But anyway, enough about that.
It's like, oh yes, that is perfect. Yes, thank you. That is the sort of like encouragement we need in teams these days.
Exactly. Also, they're
perfect. You made a wedge.
And also, they're really, really good at helping everyone behind the scenes. Like, you saw him in Series 8 helping out Chomp a lot, and you see him again and doing different things and just chatting with the mates. And
yeah.
They seem like really good guys. So, yeah, love the Terra Turtle team. They're one of my favourite underrated teams, in my opinion. Like,
and the fact they save whales as well, which is brilliant.
It's a bonus, isn't it? It really is a bonus.
Like, you can't say a bad thing about that team.
Shame they couldn't save Shark Attack and Crash and Asher though. They need to answer for this. I don't care if they weren't in the series then, or didn't even attempt for that series. You know, it's their fault that thing died, and John Fazell's got that on his conscience. It's a conscience for the rest of his time.
And not whales.
They're still sea animals, and he's there to protect marine life, and he didn't do it. So that's on your head, John.
Well, he didn't save jellyfish either, so.
Yeah, that's true, but who cares about jellyfish? They sting people. Anyway, enough about which game. We're just ranting more at this point. We're supposed to end this. Anyway, for the last time for the main series of Series 10, thank you for listening to my series. Thanks, Eoin, for joining me. And yeah, these mini episodes haven't been very mini at this point. I mean, they were initially. They were good, 20 minutes. I was like, fair enough. That's quite short for my podcast. Now, yeah, they're getting over an hour, so no. I'll just call them reviews at this point. But I'm Jimjamatic signing off eventually.
Eruption has won, and the audience applause. I've been the Tentijester, and this has been Robot Wars. Goodbye.